Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Anthem video, and today is a super exciting day because we finally have some brand new gameplay to take a look at and dissect and just in general discuss. It's been far too long. I think I've kind of got to the point where I've almost memorized the E3 gameplay. That's how much I've looked at it and cut it up and edited it. So it's really cool to finally have something to talk over. This week is of course Paris Games Week. EA put on a live stream, and during that stream they ran through some new content. Their main focus for that was a new mission, and they also want to show us some more Storm gameplay, because up until this point we've seen snippets of Storm, we know a little bit about it, but we've never really seen much gameplay from the perspective of this character. So this entire video you see will be from Storm's perspective. You will also see a little bit of Interceptor stuff in the background because the Interceptor is on this team, but in general it's a chance to look at some brand new content. So in this video I want to dissect that all and kind of talk about what's going on, give you guys a little bit more context as to the stuff they were talking about during the stream, the things that we learned, and just in general give you guys a breakdown of everything you need to know. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions. Of course, if you don't want to miss any of our future Anthem uploads, then don't forget you can click that notification button to stay up to date. And if you guys haven't entered our Spider-Man PS4 Pro giveaway, don't forget you can do so by clicking the link in the description box down below for your chance to win. But to begin with, let's start by giving a little bit of context as to what you are seeing right now. So the mission they're on is a new mission, one we haven't seen before, called the Lost Arcanist. So they have to go and locate an Arcanist called Matthias or Matthias. Now, for those of you guys that haven't necessarily seen all of the characters, then the Arcanists are one of the factions that we will speak to, deal with, encounter when we are in Fort Tarsis. There are other ones as well, but of course they are some of the ones that you'll go to collect missions and just in general play through the story. So in this situation, that is of course our focus. We're working towards these different beacons initially, and then you'll encounter some different gameplay elements as we play through this. But the team comp you've got right now, as mentioned, it's one of each. So we have a Storm, we have an Interceptor, we have a Colossus, and we have a Ranger. Now, they spoke very briefly about the Interceptor. It is still one of those things that they're not necessarily going too in-depth with right now. It is the last one they want to kind of reveal. So, you know, things and information is still pretty light, hence why it's in the team, but it's always like in the background. You're not necessarily going to see it as the core focus. They do, however, refer to it as the Space Ninja. We did learn recently, if you guys saw my video, that there will be the option to have a melee focus build for the Interceptor, which is really exciting. If you guys haven't seen that news, then I will link that video down below. But it is their fast, nimble, Space Ninja type class. However, speaking more about the Storm, one of the main things we got a chance to see during this gameplay was actually the ultimate ability. We saw a quick snippet or a freeze frame of it, should I say, recently. One of the developers tweeted out a screenshot of them, you know, fine-tuning the Storm's ability. We saw the UI, we saw this awesome kind of electric field, but we didn't actually get to see the actual thing in action. However, I'm going to jump forward very quickly just to show you guys what I'm talking about. This is the Storm's ultimate. You'll see that when they activate it, there's essentially three symbols that appear on screen, and these are, from what I can gather, ice, lightning, and fire. And of course, those are, to my understanding, the elements that are available for Storm. So what basically happens is you initiate the ultimate, and three different strikes come down initially. So the ground freezes, then this lightning strike comes down, and then you throw in this fire explosion. And then to round it all out, there's this final lightning strike that comes down the middle and just destroys everything in its path. So it looks pretty powerful, it looks pretty epic, and the fact that it combines all the different elements, I don't know whether there's a degree of customization with that. We do know that early on, you're not necessarily going to be able to customize or change your ultimate abilities, but there might still be some tweaking here and there based on your gear. But either way, that looks really cool. And on the topic of ultimates, very quickly, they took a pause during the mission to show off a few other things, and one of them was the Interceptor ultimate. They only showed it from the perspective of the Storm, so you don't get to sort of see the actual Interceptor point of view, but it basically summons these two dual daggers, and it dashes around really fast. A couple of things they noted is that, you know, the idea with this is you're supposed to dash from enemy to enemy, and whilst you have this active, you actually have increased defense, because the Interceptor is a light armored javelin. Typically, if you get up close and personal and you get slapped around, you are going to go and get beaten down. You're not necessarily the tank class, that is what the Colossus is for. However, when you are in this ultimate state, you do have increased defense, so it allows you to dash around a little bit more. I suppose if you were going to make a comparison, it looks kind of like, say, the Blade Dancer from Destiny in that respect, where you just sort of dash around with these blades. But either way, it does look pretty cool. However, if we return for a second to the gameplay that you guys were just watching, one of the things they did actually walk up to was a loot chest. These are located all around the world. If you go exploring, if you go looking, then you can find these, you can open them up, they will give you loot. In this case, you got weapon parts, but I would imagine there are probably some rarer ones out there that will actually give you really cool weapons. Maybe you've got like legendary chests or something like that where you can get a really killer weapon, but that's definitely some incentive to go looking around the world. Another thing worth calling out as well, when speaking about the Storm, they actually mentioned that if you've seen any kind of Storm gameplay or seen it in the trailer or anything like that, you will know that above all other Javelins, it's the one that can spend most time in the air. Typically, if you're in a Javelin, you have a heat meter, and if you are airborne for too long, you will then start to, or you're going to get to the point where you need to land, so you can let your jets cool down, or you can fly through a waterfall. The Storm can stay airborne considerably longer, and it's actually more advantageous for it to do so, because when it's grounded, it has less armor, it's more susceptible to damage, it's more vulnerable, so you are actually one of those classes where you should actually be airborne, use that to kind of get an aerial advantage, get a distance advantage, and fight from range. It's definitely much more so your mage class than anything else. Now, besides that, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this gameplay as is, so you can hear the actual, game audio. There are the developers speaking at the same time. There's Lee, the community manager, and also one of the developers, so you can actually hear their commentary as well. But they are basically going to play out the rest, or at least some of the mission. They don't complete it because they are trying to keep any story stuff hidden right now, so they get to the point where they fight like a mini boss, and that's essentially where they call it. They're currently working through this mission where they've been using this radar like mechanic to discover the next objective, and then they've now got to the point where they need to defend this zone from these enemies before they can then move on towards finding Matthias. But anyway, that's it for the time being. Be sure to keep it locked, because in the coming days I'll probably dive deeper into this gameplay, start dissecting the different elements and giving you guys a more in-depth look at various key components. There's lots of cool stuff to talk about, and of course there's also some more information, or at least there's a new AMAAA coming very soon, so plenty of stuff to look forward to. And of course, if you guys don't want to miss any of that, make sure you stay tuned for all the latest Anthem information.
Already know they're the big bad guys.
These are just cannon fodder. Basically, these are an inconvenience, is what these guys are.
These guys are just in the way.
I mean, they're brave going up against. I mean, what are they even wearing? There's
I'm
no armor on
going
these
to use
guys.
my Storm Ultimate on this thing and just completely get rid of this hive.
Oh, okay, that was cool.
Right? Every one of the elements. Every one of the elements. Boom. See you later. Bye, hive. Right? So obviously you want to take out these hives, get rid of the, because that's what's actually generating these enemies, the scar. How you doing, Interceptor?
Pretty good.
Yeah, any rabbits over there? No?
No.
Little lightning strike.
The Interceptor does look a little bit like a grabbit. I've just noticed. Maybe the pilot for the Interceptor is a grabbit. Have I died?
I'm taking some
Was that
damage
you?
here. I was taking some damage.
It's me. I'm not playing. It's just
What you guys
you
probably picked up
you-
on there is I was not hovering, and that's when the Storm is at its strongest from a defensive perspective, right? So while I was actually on the ground, like now, right, I'm susceptible to damage, right? So I want to actually stay in this hover.
As some of the squad that I regularly play Battlefield and other games with, they will tell you that when you're playing a game with me, you're playing on hard mode.
Okay.
I'm a liability.
Okay. You are the X factor in the wrong direction.
I'm the hard mode.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
So you put the non-team in team.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh well, that's too bad. I didn't get to choose my teammates.
Okay, so we've got some more flying to do now.
We do.
Nothing. Just lost the
The
radio
world is
signal.
huge.
But
I mean,
we're
we can
close.
basically
We
fly
know he's
around
alive.
pretty much everything we can see here, right? And even more that we can't see, all the stuff that's
Absolutely,
underground.
absolutely. The only thing that's really containing you, obviously, is
Got a
you
bunch
can't
of
fly
scars.
forever,
Yeah.
right? Like we kind of talked about before, right? Beautiful open world, lots of things
I've never
to
seen
do,
this
lots
much
of loot
activity.
to
What is
get,
going on?
lots of enemies to fight, a lot of creatures, very dangerous, right? I'm gonna pick up some health.
Oh, I've run out of ammo. There we go. I've got a grenade launcher now.
We got it. There we go. We're kind of fighting the perfect fight right now. It's almost like we've rehearsed this. Oh, wait a minute.
Located the radio we were tracking. Scars got into it. We fixed that.
Here's
I
our
bet
next
we reached
clue.
Matthias.
Okay.
Right?
So actually, I'll tell you before. I want to get a bit. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the chat, and I know we've had like the.
Definitely more of
we
a
had the-
ranged attack type javelin, right? So you want to stay away. You want to stay in the air because that's where your defense is best, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to get too close.
Okay, cool. I think we should probably crack on with the mission.
Yeah, because I
I'm a
think
bit worried
Matthias
with
was,
it.
he was,
Matthias was in trouble.
He was in trouble, and we're not too much of a hurry. Hopefully he's still there.
Okay, here's another one of my favourite bits. Get down by the water, call off your jets.
Yeah.
Your jets.
Oh, and try not to crash into the water like I often do.
You guys coming?
So here we are. Yeah, I'm just right behind you. So this whole new area now. So I'd seen this question come up in the chat, and I didn't quite get the person's name, but it's basically like this whole world. Is it open to us? It's not like we're not constrained. I mean, I know we've kind of been following the path here a little bit at the start, but like we could just fly off anyway, really.
We could. While you're on a mission, right now we're playing a party, right? So there will be party gather, right? Because we obviously want to stay on the mission together, right? So the game will help us along from that perspective for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna hop down. Hopefully save Matthias.
However you want to say
Matthias.
it. Oh, he's surrounded by
Okay,
Scar here.
he's already busy.
Let's take out the Scar.
He seems to be fine in one piece so far.
Yes, I'm fine.
Little electrical storm.
So these scrappers, where are they coming
What's
from?
happening with the
Are
scars?
they coming from
Something has
underground?
them enraged.
These guys are being spawned. They could be spawned from some hives that we just don't see right now. They could have be teleported in through some portal holes.
Got Matthias. He looks okay, I think.
I was so absorbed in my research, I failed to
There's
notice when
Matthias.
the camps had stopped
Okay.
reporting in.
What's up, buddy?
Oh no, hang on. We've got trouble.
Oh, got another wave. Yeah, there's the teleporter.
Looks like he's having a bad day.
Got some more Scar coming in.
I'd love to know how he got here. I mean, it's took us 45 minutes to get here, and we're flying. I mean, admittedly, we've messed around a little bit.
We don't really know how long he's been gone. There's my melee attack.
Ultimate.
Where you at?
Oh, Kajuki's popping the ultimate.
Just pulling the trigger. Micro missiles painting those targets.
Oh damn. We've got a big one.
If you had to pick a favourite ultimate, who's would it be?
Think ahead.
I'd like the Interceptor's ultimate, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
Yeah, just I'd love the fact that,
This guy is here.
you know, the little space ninja gets in there, uses dual blades, and just carves things up.
I'm behind.
So what's going on with this guy here?
Well, this is Scar Head.
He kind of looks
right?
a bit like me.
Yeah, we don't want to mess with him for too long, right? Oh, yeah, he's got his flamethrower out, right? And he's got this big shield.
I think I have the aggro.
Uh-oh.
He seems to be pretty
Yeah, he's take a lot of
good
damage.
for you.
He'll soak up some bullets.
So this is basically like a little mini boss for the level, I guess.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where'd
I've
he go?
lost him now, actually. Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Uh-oh.
There he is.
Yeah,
He took advantage of us all not paying attention.
yeah,
and
he
headed straight for the tires.
completely snuck under us here. I gotta get some of this health.
On the right. Behind you.
Well, you know what, Lee?
What? You want to leave him?
I think that's it.
Scar leader's
Yeah?
down.
Yeah.
Let's clean up the rest of them now, shall we?
There you go.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch 269 and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the Endgame store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the Endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.